Seniors, try this natural collagen remedy at home for pain-free joints. Did you know that more than 70% of people over the age of 50 are silently losing their joint health without even realizing it, until it's almost too late? Imagine if just a few simple changes in your kitchen and your daily habits could help you rebuild cartilage naturally, relieve pain, and walk freely without relying on expensive treatments or medications. Today, we're diving deep into the secrets of natural collagen restoration using everyday foods like bone broth, vitamin C-rich fruits, omega-3s, sulfur-packed vegetables, and powerful ancient roots like turmeric and ginger. And trust me, the final step we'll reveal could be the key that unlocks lasting joint strength. And most people completely overlook it. Stay with us to the end, because every moment you invest here could change how you move, feel, and live for years to come. Before we jump in, I invite you to take a moment and comment below. I choose to nourish my body and embrace vibrant health. Let's fill this space with positive energy and intention. And don't forget, if you love learning how to heal naturally and live joyfully like this video, subscribe to Buddhist Health and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another journey into living your healthiest, happiest life. Now, let's start unlocking the natural miracles your body has been waiting for. The silent collapse of your cartilage. Have you ever noticed how pain doesn't announce itself when it first starts creeping into your body? It doesn't come crashing through your door with loud sirens. Instead, it tiptoes, whispering warnings that are so easy to ignore. One day, you're moving easily, climbing stairs, getting out of chairs, reaching for the things you love. And then quietly, without any grand fanfare, something shifts. Your knees creak, your hips feel heavier, mornings become slower. You wonder, when did this happen? Inside every joint in your body lies a miracle called cartilage, a smooth, cushiony tissue that lets your bones glide effortlessly over each other. It's soft enough to absorb shock, yet tough enough to withstand a lifetime of movement. But like the petals of a flower facing the steady winds of time, cartilage begins to wear thin. The tragedy is that it suffers in silence. It has no nerves, no way to send you an early warning signal. You won't feel the deterioration as it happens. You'll only notice it when it's almost too late. When the protective barrier is nearly gone, and bone grinds against bone with every step. This is why, for many, pain doesn't mark the beginning of the problem. Pain is the final alarm bell. It is the desperate cry of a body enduring damage for far too long without intervention. Think of your joints as a bridge. In its youth, the bridge was strong and effortless in its purpose. Every car that passes, every storm that blows seems to leave no mark. But corrosion starts small. Invisible cracks beneath the surface. Steel weakens, concrete erodes, all hidden from view. And one day, with no obvious warning, the bridge strains and shudders under the weight it can no longer bear. This slow-motion collapse happens to our joints if we ignore the quiet signals. When we wait for real, undeniable pain to appear, we wait until the structure is already compromised, until the repair is no longer simple, and until restoration becomes a monumental challenge. In the teachings of Buddhism, we are reminded of impermanence. Everything that is built, our youth, strength, vitality, is destined to change, fade, and dissolve. Denying this truth or turning away from the minor signs of change only deepens our suffering later. Pain is not betrayal. It is the body's profound wisdom, urging us to listen. Right now, your body may be speaking in whispers. Perhaps it's that slight stiffness when you get out of bed. Maybe it's the creaking you hear as you rise from a chair. These aren't just signs of getting older. They are the body's subtle messages, asking you to nourish, strengthen, and care before the decline becomes irreversible. And this is where your power lies. In Buddhism, the law of cause and effect teaches us that small actions, done consistently, create significant change. The choices you make today, the foods you eat, the way you move, the attention you give to your body, plant seeds for the mobility, freedom, and joy you can experience tomorrow. You are not powerless against aging joints. You are not doomed to a life of pain. You must recognize that healing does not come in grand gestures, but in small, mindful steps taken before pain takes the stage. Imagine standing at a crossroads. Down one path is the gradual loss of freedom, where each step feels heavier, where activities you once loved slip away. Down the other path is a future where you move with ease, where climbing stairs feels natural again, where each morning greets you with energy instead of stiffness. The good news is, you haven't yet traveled too far down either path. You can still choose. You can begin today. You can listen now before the silent collapse becomes a deafening crash. In the journey ahead, I will show you simple, natural ways to support your joints, to nourish your cartilage, and to preserve the life and vitality within you. Not through expensive treatments, not through miracle cures, but through wisdom, ancient and modern, through everyday choices made with care and love. Healing is not about turning back time. It's about moving forward with intention, with gratitude for the miraculous machinery that carries us through this life. Your knees, your hips, your back, they are not burdens, they are companions on your journey, and they deserve your compassion. Let's begin this new chapter together. Before the whispers become roars, before the bridge gives way, the path to strength, freedom, and vibrant living starts right here, right now, with you. The miracle inside a pot of bone broth. In a world that often searches for healing in the latest pills or technologies, it's humbling to realize that some of the most potent remedies have been simmering quietly in our kitchens for generations. Long before laboratories and pharmaceuticals, our ancestors understood a simple truth. Proper nourishment comes from the earth, bones, and slow alchemy of time and patience. And perhaps nowhere is that wisdom more evident than in a humble pot of bone broth. Bone broth is not just soup, it is, in many ways, a living elixir. One of nature's most potent gifts lies within its rich golden depths. Collagen. This miracle protein acts as the unseen architect of our joints, creating a soft, resilient cushion that absorbs the shocks of daily life. Imagine collagen as the gentle but firm hammock stretched between two trees, holding everything in balance, preventing bones from grinding cruelly against each other. As we age, however, the body's natural collagen production begins to wane, like a river that slowly dries under a relentless sun. The hammocks fray, the cushions are thin. Without enough collagen, the movements that once felt effortless, bending, twisting, reaching, feel strained, painful, fragile. This is why bone broth holds such incredible power. It doesn't just warm your hands on a cold day. It rebuilds the structures that allow you to move freely through your life. When you drink bone broth, you offer your body the raw materials it craves to heal itself. Collagen, gelatin, and amino acids like glycine and proline seep into your bloodstream, becoming the bricks and mortar your joints need to repair, strengthen, and rejuvenate. It's like handing your body a blueprint and all the tools it requires to patch up the silent wear and tear of years. But the magic of bone broth is not just in its contents, it's in its simplicity. You don't need a fancy kitchen or exotic ingredients to brew this potion. All you need are bones, beef, chicken, fish, whatever you prefer, a few vegetables, some water, and the patience to let time do its sacred work. Picture this, a slow bubbling pot on your stove, fragrant with the deep, earthy aroma of marrow and herbs. The bones surrender their secrets hour by hour, releasing minerals, collagen, and goodness into the broth. It's a quiet, almost spiritual act, transforming simple, overlooked ingredients into a tonic for vitality. And making bone broth at home couldn't be easier. Gather a few pounds of bones, preferably with joints and connective tissues still attached. Place them into a large pot, cover them with fresh water, and add apple cider vinegar to help extract the minerals. Toss in onions, carrots, celery, perhaps a clove of garlic or a sprig of rosemary for flavor. Then let it simmer, low and slow, for at least 12 to 24 hours. The longer it simmers, the richer and more nourishing it becomes. Once ready, strain the liquid, cool it, and store it in jars or freeze it for future use. Each sip and bowl becomes a small act of devotion to your body's resilience. In Buddhism, there is a saying, with patience everything blooms. Bone broth is a physical embodiment of that teaching. It demands no rush, no force, only presence, only care. In return, it offers healing that no shortcut can match. So as we continue our journey toward pain-free joints and restored freedom, remember that the path is not paved with complexity. Sometimes the most profound transformations begin with the simplest, most ancient rituals. A pot, a bone, a flame, and the unwavering belief that our bodies know exactly how to heal, given the proper nourishment. Next, we'll discover why bone broth's magic is incomplete without a crucial partner, a vibrant, life-giving nutrient hiding in the colorful fruits and vegetables that grace your kitchen counter. Let's keep moving forward. Vitamin C, the key that ignites life. Imagine standing in front of a magnificent cathedral, its soaring arches and intricate carvings a testament to centuries of craftsmanship. But picture it half-finished, the scaffolding still clinging to the stones, the grand vision incomplete. Without the final spark, the master builder's touch, it would remain forever unfinished, a dream that never quite comes to life. In your body, collagen is that magnificent structure. It holds your joints together, cushions your bones, and preserves your freedom of movement. Yet without a critical catalyst, the scaffolding of your healing remains incomplete. That catalyst is vitamin C, the master builder, the spark that transforms potential into reality. While bone broth and collagen-rich foods provide the raw materials, it is vitamin C that takes these ingredients and breathes life into them. Without vitamin C, your body cannot properly synthesize new collagen. It's like having a construction site full of bricks and mortar, but no hands to assemble them. Without this vital nutrient, the grand blueprint for regeneration remains unrealized. Inside your cells, vitamin C acts like a brilliant flame. It fuels the enzymes needed to weave amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, into the strong, flexible collagen fibers that rebuild cartilage, strengthen tendons, and renew joints. It doesn't just support the process. It is the process. Without it, your body's efforts to repair itself are stunted, like a fire left smoldering without enough kindling. And the beauty of vitamin C is that it doesn't hide in obscure, hard-to-find places. It shines brightly in the simplest, most vibrant foods around you, foods that have likely been in your kitchen all along, waiting patiently to serve. Oranges, with their cheerful sun-like glow, are the most famous carriers of vitamin C, but they are only the beginning. Kiwis, deceptively small, burst with more vitamin C than their bright cousins. Lemons and limes, tucked away in your refrigerator drawer, hold the power to ignite collagen production with just a squeeze. Red bell peppers, strawberries, broccoli, and even a humble handful of parsley are treasure chests of this essential nutrient, ready to turn your meals into healing rituals. Picture vitamin C as a golden light flowing through your bloodstream, reaching the sites of microscopic damage in your joints. Where cartilage has frayed, vitamin C fuels the repair. Where inflammation has gnawed away at strength, vitamin C acts as shield and sword, neutralizing the free radicals that seek to sabotage healing. Without it, the body's efforts are like architects working with crumbling tools. But with it, the body becomes a brilliant artisan, stitching together new tissues, reinforcing old structures, and breathing vitality back into weary joints. In Buddhist teachings, there is a timeless understanding that illumination often comes from the most unassuming sources. A flickering candle, a whispered prayer, a quiet breath. Vitamin C embodies that wisdom. It is small, simple, often overlooked, but when given its rightful place, it becomes a force of restoration far greater than its humble appearance suggests. Each time you choose a salad vibrant with red peppers, each time you sip a glass of lemon water, you are lighting that internal flame. You are handing your body the torch to mend, strengthen, and thrive. Healing, like enlightenment, rarely comes in sudden, dramatic flashes. It builds in small acts of mindfulness, daily choices made meal by meal. It begins in recognizing the profound within the ordinary, the extraordinary power hidden in a single orange, a single bite. As we continue, we will meet another set of allies. Silent warriors from the deep blue sea, ready to calm the fires of inflammation and create a sanctuary where your cartilage can flourish. The journey continues, and the light grows brighter. Omega-3, the firefighters of your joints. Picture your joints as bustling cities, vibrant, alive, intricate networks where every movement is a dance of collaboration between muscles, ligaments, bones, and cartilage. But even the most beautiful cities are vulnerable to fire. In your body, that fire is inflammation. It smolders unseen, fueled by stress, aging, poor diet, and environmental wear. At first, it may flicker quietly, causing little more than stiffness or mild discomfort, but left unchecked, it grows hotter, more destructive, weakening cartilage, stiffening joints, and eventually bringing pain roaring to the surface. To fight this fire, your body needs heroes, not ones clad in armor or flashing lights, but tiny, potent molecules called omega-3 fatty acids. They are the firefighters of your joints, rushing into the inflamed landscape, dousing the flames, cooling the heat, and allowing the rebuilding process to begin. Omega-3s don't just mask the symptoms, they address the root. They work at a cellular level, calming the immune system's overzealous attacks that fuel chronic inflammation. They help maintain the delicate balance between necessary defense and destructive overreaction, protecting your joints from the slow, invisible erosion that leads to arthritis and immobility. Where do these warriors come from? From the depths of the ocean and the simplicity of the earth. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in omega-3s, and their flesh is a direct conduit of healing. Every fillet, every bite sends reinforcements into your bloodstream, carrying with them the power to soothe, repair, and fortify. Even on land, omega-3s are waiting for you. Tiny seeds, chia, flax, hemp, hold potent reservoirs of these essential fats within their shells. A spoonful in your morning smoothie, a sprinkle over your salad, a handful stirred into oatmeal, and you are summoning an invisible army, steadfast in its mission to restore balance within your body. But like any army, omega-3s can be defeated if the battleground is hostile. And one of the greatest saboteurs of their efforts is sugar and processed oils. Imagine sending your bravest firefighters into a blaze, only to find gasoline poured on the flames at every turn. That's precisely what happens when your diet is high in sugary snacks, fried foods, and refined oils. These substances fan the fires of inflammation, undoing the quiet, diligent work of omega-3s. It's not enough to simply add healthy foods. We must also remove the obstacles that stand in healing's way. Choosing whole, unprocessed foods is not about deprivation but protection. It is about honoring the sacred work your body is striving to do on your behalf. In Buddhist practice, we are taught the principle of right effort, which is purposeful action that supports wisdom and compassion growth. Healing our bodies follows the same path. It requires not just adding good but also removing harm. It asks us to be guardians of our well-being, to recognize when our choices feed or quench the fire. Every piece of salmon you savor, every handful of chia seeds you scatter into your meals, every sugary temptation you consciously set aside, each is a small act of self-respect, a vow to your future mobility and freedom. Healing is not about grand gestures or perfect diets. It is about tending to the fires with care, feeding the forces of restoration with devotion, and giving your body the chance to rebuild the magnificent structures that carry you through this life. And now, with the flames cooled and the battleground cleared, it's time to focus on the next essential ingredient, the vibrant, living fuel that activates collagen and shields your joints from the relentless march of time. Our journey toward renewal continues. Garlic, onions, and cabbage, the silent builders of cartilage strength. In every great city, the most essential things do not always catch the eye. Beneath the towering skyscrapers and glittering monuments lies an invisible network of beams, bricks, and foundations, quiet, humble elements that make the city possible. Without them, everything would crumble. In your body, a similar story unfolds. While collagen may be the grand cathedral we seek to build, sulfur, hidden within the simplest of foods, serves as the essential scaffolding, holding it all together. Sulfur is a mineral that rarely takes the spotlight. It does not boast the fame of vitamin C or the allure of omega-3s. Yet within its quiet nature lies a powerful gift. Sulfur is crucial for collagen synthesis. It helps form the flexible, resilient bridges that connect tissues, strengthens the bonds between cells, and repairs the subtle tears that wear away at cartilage over time. In its wisdom, nature hides this precious mineral in the humblest of places. The pungent bite of garlic, the sharp tang of onions, and the earthy crunch of cabbage are not just kitchen staples. They are the silent builders, the invisible workers who labor day and night to strengthen the joints that carry us forward. Garlic, with its potent aroma, is more than a flavor booster. Packed with sulfur compounds like allicin, it acts as a powerful catalyst for collagen formation, reducing inflammation while reinforcing the fabric of your joints. Often overlooked as mere background players in our meals, onions are rich in quercetin and sulfur, acting as quiet protectors against oxidative stress and tissue breakdown. And cabbage, that sturdy, unpretentious vegetable, holds within its crisp leaves a storehouse of sulfur and antioxidants, ready to rebuild and restore. Yet unlocking their full potential requires more than tossing them into a pot. Preparation matters. The healing compounds within garlic, for example, are most potent when the cloves are crushed and allowed to rest for a few minutes before cooking, activating the allicin that delivers their health benefits. Onions retain more sulfur power when you use or lightly sauté them, not scorched under high heat. When gently steamed or added at the end of cooking, cabbage preserves its healing properties without losing its structural magic. In the same way that a wise architect respects the delicate balance of strength and flexibility, we must treat these foods carefully to harness their full power. Cooking becomes not just an act of nourishment, but a ritual of restoration, a mindful practice that honors the quiet forces working to keep our bodies whole. Buddhism teaches us to revere the unseen, those acts of kindness, moments of patience, gestures of humility that often pass unnoticed but weave the fabric of compassion and resilience. The garlic you crush, the onions you slice, and the cabbage you stir into your stew mirror that wisdom. They do not boast or demand praise. They simply do their work, silently, steadfastly, building the inner fortress that will protect you as the seasons turn. Every meal becomes an offering to your future self. Every careful preparation becomes a promise that you will not take your body's strength for granted. Healing is not just about adding new materials. It is about fortifying what already exists and honoring the silent structures that have carried you faithfully through every chapter of your life. And now, as these quiet builders weave their strength into your joints, it's time to meet two ancient allies, roots that carry within them the wisdom of centuries and the power to soothe pain and spark renewal. The journey deepens. Turmeric and ginger, ancient roots of healing. Across the landscapes of ancient India and China, where wisdom was passed not through books but through careful observation of life and nature, healers discovered two humble roots that seemed to hold the very essence of resilience within them. Turmeric and ginger, golden, gnarled, fragrant, have traveled through the centuries, quietly offering their gifts of healing to every generation, wise enough to embrace them. In our fast-paced world, it is easy to forget the power of simple things. Yet sometimes the most excellent remedies come not from laboratories but from the earth itself, unchanged by time, faithful to their origins. Turmeric and ginger are living testaments to that truth, an ancient duo with an undiminished strength. At the heart of turmeric's power lies curcumin, a potent compound that modern science has barely begun to grasp its full potential. Curcumin is nature's anti-inflammatory, targeting the silent fires that smolder our joints and quietly dismantle our mobility. It works not with the brute force of synthetic drugs, but with the precision of a master craftsman, calming the immune system's overreactions, easing swelling, and reducing pain. With its spicy warmth, ginger complements turmeric's golden strength like a faithful companion. Rich in gingerol, it enhances circulation, soothes stiffness, and nurtures the flow of healing nutrients to the places that need them most. Where turmeric calms, ginger stirs. Where turmeric extinguishes the flame of inflammation, ginger breathes new life into weary tissues. Together, they form a partnership as enduring as any in the natural world. One calming the tempest, the other strengthening the roots. They are not flashy, not complicated, but their combined power is undeniable. They are ancient roots, carrying a legacy of healing as old as humanity. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a reverence for balance, the middle path that neither clings nor rejects but moves steadily toward harmony. Turmeric and ginger embody this middle path perfectly. They do not seek to suppress the body's natural responses. They seek to restore balance, to bring the body back to a state where healing can occur without violence or force. Incorporating these roots into your daily life can be beautifully simple. You might start your morning with a warm cup of turmeric tea, golden and inviting, perhaps with a touch of black pepper, to enhance curcumin's absorption. You might stir grated ginger into your soups and stews, or blend it into your smoothies for warmth and vitality. You might sprinkle turmeric into your roasted vegetables, rice, or even scrambled eggs, painting your meals with the colors of the earth. The recipes do not need to be elaborate. Healing is not found in complexity but in consistency. A small ritual practiced daily becomes a current that shapes the river of your health. Imagine your joints as ancient temples, weathered by time but still standing strong. Turmeric and ginger are the artisans who gently brush away the dust, reinforce the pillars, and breathe new life into the spaces where once only stillness remained. They do not promise miracles overnight. They work quietly and faithfully, asking only that you show up for yourself each day with patience and care. In a world obsessed with instant solutions, turmeric and ginger remind us that true healing is a journey, not a race. It returns to rhythms older than memory, a dance between nourishment and trust. And now, as these roots deepen your foundation, we turn our gaze to another cornerstone of joint health. A foundation so essential that without it, even the strongest walls would crumble. Let's continue walking this path of renewal together. The colorful fruits that guard your joints. As the sun arcs across the sky, casting its golden warmth across orchards heavy with ripening fruit, it's easy to forget that nature's most vivid creations are not merely beautiful but powerful. Beneath their brilliant skins, fruits like pomegranates, blueberries, and cherries carry a fierce strength, crafted by generations of surviving storms, basking in light and thriving against adversity. For our joints, these colorful fruits are not just a treat, they are a shield, a living, breathing armor against the relentless march of time. Every day your body faces invisible battles, free radicals, unstable molecules created by stress, pollution, poor diet, and even natural aging, attack healthy cells, corroding cartilage, weakening tissues, and accelerating the slow fade of flexibility. Without protection, joints that once carried you easily become stiff, brittle, and burdened by pain. But nature, ever compassionate, offers a defense. Packed within the vibrant flesh of fruits is an arsenal of antioxidants, silent warriors who seek out and neutralize free radicals before they can wreak havoc. They mend the unseen wounds. They reinforce the delicate fabrics of collagen and cartilage. They fortify your body from the inside out. Pomegranates, with their jewel-like seeds, are among the mightiest defenders. Rich in polyphenols, they not only fight inflammation but also actively slow the breakdown of cartilage. Small yet fierce blueberries flood your bloodstream with anthocyanins, strengthening the tissues that cradle your joints. Sweet and tart cherries deliver concentrated bursts of anti-inflammatory power, reducing the aches and stiffness that often accompany aging. Together, they weave an invisible cloak around your joints, a shimmering protective barrier that guards against degeneration. Imagine your knees, hips, hands sheathed in a supple, resilient armor woven not from metal, but from the living energy of the earth itself. In the teachings of mindfulness, we learn that protection is not always loud or obvious. It is often quiet, constant, arising from small, wise choices made day after day. Adding these fruits into your life can be one of those choices. Simple, joyful, profound. You don't need elaborate recipes or complicated routines. A handful of blueberries tossed into your morning oats. A glass of pomegranate juice was sipped slowly in the afternoon sun. A bowl of cherries was enjoyed after dinner, savoring each individually, and each bite was a small act of self-care. Let these rituals be reminders that healing is as much about pleasure as discipline. A life rich in color, flavor, and mindful enjoyment is a life that heals. Each time you choose fruits rich in antioxidants, you are not just satisfying your hunger, you are fortifying the temples of your body. You are wrapping your joints in layers of resilience, ensuring that the freedom to move, dance, and embrace life remains yours for years. As you nourish your body from within, the next step in your journey is called one that reminds us that actual vitality is not only fed by what we eat, but ignited by how we move. The dance of life awaits. Gentle movement, when every step becomes a prayer. Imagine a river winding its way through a fertile valley. Its waters nourish the soil, bring life to the trees, feed the crops, and sustain the animals. As long as the river flows, the valley thrives. But if the river stops, if its waters stagnate or dry up, everything it once supported begins to wither. Your joints are nourished in a similar stillness, but by movement. Every gentle step you take, every slow stretch, and every mindful breath during yoga sends a vital current of nourishment flowing through your body. Movement is not merely exercise, it is life. The river carries oxygen, nutrients, and synovial fluid, the body's natural lubricant, directly into the deepest, most hidden spaces of your joints. Without that flow, the cartilage that cushions your bones is left vulnerable. It dries, cracks, and slowly erodes, like soil left untended beneath a merciless sun. Though it may feel protective when pain whispers warnings, inactivity is the silent architect of deterioration. Stagnation speeds the decline of the very structures we seek to preserve. But the beauty lies. You do not need to run marathons or conquer mountains to keep the river flowing. Healing begins with the gentlest movements. Walks around your neighborhood where the air smells of grass and earth. A few leisurely laps in a pool where gravity releases its grip. In this quiet yoga practice, each posture is an offering to your body. Walking strengthens the muscles around your joints, providing support and reducing the strain that accelerates wear. Swimming liberates the body from weight, allowing joints to move freely, bathing them in healing currents. Yoga invites strength and surrender, coaxing flexibility and resilience back into tissues hardened by years of tension and neglect. Each movement, no matter how small, is a prayer whispered into the architecture of your being, a prayer for vitality, freedom, and life itself. In Buddhist teachings, there is a deep reverence for mindful walking, where every step is taken with full awareness of the miracle that it is simply moving. Lifting a foot, placing it gently upon the earth, and feeling the muscles engage and release are not mundane actions. They are sacred expressions of life unfolding in its purest form. To move gently and consistently is to honor the body's design. It is to say, I recognize your labor, I cherish your resilience, I will not abandon you to stillness and decay. But heed this truth. When movement ceases, degeneration accelerates. Without the river of motion, cartilage starves, joints stiffen, muscles weaken, independence fades. It is a hard truth, but not a hopeless one. The future is not set in stone. It is shaped, step by step, choice by choice. And every walk you take, every gentle swim, every mindful stretch, is a stroke of the brush on the canvas of your life, painting a picture of longevity, strength, and continued adventure. You are not too old to move. You are not too broken to begin. You are alive, and where there is life, there is possibility. And as you awaken the river within you, we turn next to one final element, a silent force within the earth's bounty that holds together all the threads of healing you have woven thus far. The conductor awaits. Magnesium, the silent conductor of joint repair. Imagine standing before a grand symphony orchestra. The violins gleam under the lights, the cellos hum with anticipation, the horns glint like promises yet to be fulfilled. Every musician is skilled, every instrument is tuned to perfection. But without a conductor, what should be a masterpiece collapses into chaos. Notes clashing, rhythms lost, the beauty dissolved into confusion. Inside your body, magnesium is that silent conductor. It doesn't draw attention to itself. It doesn't clamor for praise. Yet without it, all the instrument healing, that strengthens bones, the collagen that rebuilds cartilage, the anti-inflammatory forces that soothe pain, fall into disarray. Magnesium orchestrates the delicate dance of joint repair. Without enough, your efforts, nourishing your body with bone broth, filling your plate with fruits and vegetables, moving with mindful intention, struggle to reach their full potential. Magnesium is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which are directly tied to the processes we have been nurturing throughout this journey. It facilitates calcium absorption, ensuring that the minerals you consume find their way into your bones rather than lingering uselessly in your bloodstream. It activates the enzymes that assemble collagen's intricate scaffolding, giving strength and flexibility to your tissues. It calms the fires of inflammation, reducing the silent damage that gnaws away at joints over time. Without magnesium, healing is like trying to build a house with the finest materials, but with no blueprint, coordination, or rhythm. Every nail was driven in wrong, and every beam was slightly off. Over time, the structure weakens, not because the materials were poor, but because the guiding force was absent. Thankfully, nature once again provides. Magnesium is abundant in simple, humble foods. The dark, leafy richness of spinach, the sun-kissed seeds of sunflowers, the earthy, bitter sweetness of raw cacao. Each carries within it a quiet reservoir of power, ready to support the symphony of your healing, if only you invite it in. Adding magnesium to your life need not be complicated. A handful of sunflower seeds sprinkled over a salad, a smoothie blended with a generous helping of spinach, a small piece of dark chocolate savored after dinner, not as a guilty pleasure, but as a deliberate, joyful act of nourishment. In Buddhist philosophy, the conductor's role is mirrored by the principle of right mindfulness, a quiet, steady awareness that brings harmony to the chaos of our thoughts, our actions, our lives. Magnesium is right. Mindfulness embodied in mineral form, unnoticed by many, essential to all. And yet, in modern diets, magnesium deficiency is shockingly common. Processed foods, chronic stress, and nutrient-depleted soils have stripped away this essential conductor from many lives, leaving a silent gap in the healing process. Without enough magnesium, your joints cannot fully absorb the gifts you have so carefully gathered. The music falters. The masterpiece remains unfinished, but you have the power to change that. By embracing foods rich in magnesium and honoring the quiet necessity of this mineral, you allow the full beauty of your body's regenerative capacity to unfold. Healing is not only about adding more, it is about ensuring that everything you add can work together in harmony. Magnesium doesn't shout its importance, it simply steps onto the podium and lifts the baton, guiding each instrument, each cell, each heartbeat back into rhythm. And now, as the symphony of your body begins to play again, strong and sure, we come to the final movement, gathering all these lessons into a way of living that honors the miracle of your body, today and for all the days to come. The journey is nearing its crescendo. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a quiet moment to reflect. Today you discovered how simple, natural steps, like nourishing your body with bone broth, vitamin C-rich fruits, omega-3s, sulfur-rich vegetables, ancient roots like turmeric and ginger, and the silent power of magnesium, can help rebuild your cartilage, soothe inflammation, and restore the freedom of movement you deserve. We were reminded that healing doesn't happen through force or impatience. It happens through gentle, consistent care, listening deeply to our bodies, and honoring life's impermanent but beautiful nature. Before you go, I invite you to pause and comment below. I am grateful for my body and choose to care for it with love. Let's create a space overflowing with positive energy, compassion, and shared commitment to living well. And if today's video resonated with you, please remember to like, subscribe to Buddhist Health, and share this message with someone you care about. We can build a community rooted in healing, wisdom, and joy. Always remember, your body is not your enemy. It is your oldest friend, your faithful companion on this journey through life. Treat it with kindness, and it will carry you farther than you ever dreamed. Until next time, may you walk gently, breathe deeply, and live with gratitude and grace each day.